So right now we're rebuilding the axle. Two things I'm missing are a dial indicator and a depth indicator. I may get those. Another thing I'm missing. This is bigger than 1.25 inches. This castle nut, preferably impact socket, because it's off and it's hard to stop it from spinning. But all good there. I'm gonna get a hub puller as well. Yeah, so we're gonna rebuild this thing. I've got the diff spreader and the bearing pullers, the ARB shim drivers. Just a couple things I need. I don't know. We'll see. The ring and pinion might show up tomorrow or Saturday. I've got the axle truss. I've got one-piece axles and the air locker to throw in here if anybody wants to come see what's happening, what's going on. I might take this TIG setup and the DJ5 frame I'm trying to sell. I might cut that up and make it into a welding table because I'll be throwing this axle housing up on something to weld the truss onto it. But I figure this is probably a good project for Friday. So yeah, we've got one-piece axles here. We've got the air locking diff right here. We'll have to drill into the housing and tap that for the air hose that goes out. That's not a big issue. I'm not even worried about that. This is the 456 gears for the Dana 30. So we could do that too. And I do have all the stuff for the brake lines and whatnot, but I ended up pulling out the rear axle, so we might as well wait on that. Wait till you get the gas tank and everything back in there. So just fighting for space, but should be good. I think we'll be all right. I've got a micrometer to check this thing. The ARB installation booklet kind of gives me formulas to follow as far as A plus B minus C, whatever, equals D. And then the only thing that I don't really have is much knowledge on the pinion side and what to do as far as preload there, but it should be fun. We've got plenty of time. All right. Well, Napa's going to be closing soon. I guess I'll have to look up another place, maybe Harbor Freight. I know it's cheap tools, but sometimes the breakable tools are the best tools to buy cheap. Sometimes. I'm just saying. But I did want to point out something just because I remembered. Last night I took this castle nut off. I did not have the necessary equipment to do that. There was no cotter pin in it. And it was hand tight. So that's alarming. But hey, you know, I drove this around. It might have even gone through a soybean field. Excuse me. That was an accident. But stay together. All right, let's see if I can go find some tools. Again, I'm no professional, guys. So these choking books are great. Gotta find this rear end. I gotta figure out how I'm taking these axles out. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see. So, I might make a puller with the puller that I just bought. They gave me most of the pieces that I need. And all I really need to do is, I don't know if you can see this, so I'll grab you. So I won't be able to get much further tonight on this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get lug nuts to screw on me here, and then I'll find some metal scrap laying around somewhere, and I'll weld this metal scrap to the lug nuts, and then I'll attach the scrap to the puller piece, the center piece, that I can then drive through the center and pull this thing off with. So that's my theory. I'm going to go with that for now. I think that'll work. It should work. I've seen a lot of things work in my time, so we gotta give it our best, you know. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Yeah, so the lug nuts that I have are chrome coated. You guys like a little preview. This probably isn't your favorite view. I'm not the best cameraman, but we're getting there. Alright, so check this out. Lawnmower blade. It's not going to be the easiest to cut through. Definitely not the easiest to cut through. I might be able to bend it. No, it's not the easiest to bend. These are pretty hard, actually. But here's the idea. Boom. 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 And then tack this up some way, attached to these nuts. I'm gonna make a piece so that I can put that screwy thingy in the center. That's what I'm gonna call it, the screwy thingy that pushes it out. So you screw it in, and it pushes on this shaft, and it pulls on these lugs, and it pulls the hub off for you. This fan feels great. Oh. Yep. That's going to be how we do it. Unless one of my buddies that's coming tomorrow has a puller that's decent, and then I'll use that instead. But I think for now, I'm gonna plan on, like, worst case scenario tomorrow is I create a tool of my own to pull this hub, because these are older axles and stuff, and it's a two-piece axle design that, you know, is destined to fail if I were to have it in my Jeep doing off-road adventures, whatnot, with larger tires anyways. And by default, that rear end is an open diff, which means in certain situations where I need all four tires to spin, I'll be doglegging. So that's why we're going to single piece axles, which you saw before. They're from Revolution, Discovery Series, and 21 piece chromoly rear axle kit. And that's why we're also going to the ARB air locker, the switches. We've got the twin cylinder onboard kit. So if I put a tank on my Jeep, you know, this will go under the hood, this air pump, and it'll be able to run tools. I should be able to fill up my tires. So if I get beadlocks and I go down in PSI, I can put PSI back in them on demand. And then we're gonna change up the gearing, because I need to gear up to go to 35-inch tires. My inline 6, with its power and torque ratings, Will it turn it? Yes, but is it going to be turning at a healthy RPM? Probably no. Um, so that's why I chose the 456 gearing. I think 488 was too much. Anyway, it just seemed like a sweet spot from what I was reading online. And then if I choose to do some little things to my engine, I should be okay. And then the next upgrade, if I choose to do an upgrade down the road and go larger, would be completely swapping out this inline 6 power plant and its T4 transmission. Completely swapping that out, going with the 5.3 liter Chevy Vortec. I'm really not decided on what the transmission is, but that would also entail an axle swap. So I'd probably swap to different axles where I could go with bigger tires. And then from there, you know, your drive line changes, a lot of things changes. So I'm gonna plan that on the side if I choose to do that once I'm finished with what my project is now, which is getting this inline 6 CJ7 with all of its glory, the body, the axle, the frame, getting that all going so that, you know, see what we need to do from there. And that's really the situation that I want to be in, is behind the wheel, going on trails and going, oh, maybe I should do this. Because right now it's just all up in the air, you know. I can dream and think and ponder all I want, but none of that matters if you're not applying or testing anything. So that's why we'll be making a push to put it together, and nothing will be changing from here on out. So I think for today, unless I decide to test out this welder, which I just got a couple days ago and have some fun with it, it's probably the end of what I'm going to record out here for episode 1 of One Peasant Garage. My name's Jeff. Just decided to have a little fun and, you know, document the experience of rebuilding my 1981 Jeep CJ7 Renegade Edition into, well, restoring it from the frame up, really. And not only restoring it, but making it a lot better. You know, turning it into a rock crawler, giving it upgrades that makes it more modern so that it can handle the trails better than it could when it was original. So yeah, at some point she's going to be rust free, completely ready to go, and I will have complete 100% faith in her on the road. So she is. That's where the magic's happening. Well, guys, I think this was a perfect episode 1. About ready to close up shop for the night. I got shit breaking on me. But I thought it'd be cool to start kind of raw, you know, where I'm never blogged or vlog, whatever it is. I don't, you know, current with the times. I've never done that before. I don't need things to be perfect. I don't really care for them to be perfect. I think that's a waste of time. So that's why I decided to just start. At the same time, you have no idea, like, how's the sound? I don't know. You tell me. I'll have to figure it out. But I don't mind. It's been fun. The reason I say it's a perfect episode is I did what? I went to the store, I got more parts or tools, and I took off one nut. And I think it's important to capture that in one day, you might only get one nut off, and that's it. So, but it's about continuing to have these days where you continue to get one nut off, you continue to put one nut on. the putting back together part sometimes goes a little bit faster because everything's clean and new, and you know, you just got it there. But yeah, that's it. That's it for today. The rest of my day will be decompressing, thinking about what I'm gonna do for tomorrow. Hopefully there's people coming to help me, because I need an extra set of hands with quite a few things that I think would actually maybe help get this garage a little bit more organized so that it's more functional. You know, I'm struggling. Where do I put the camera so that everybody can see me? I doubt the angles have been great. You know, it's probably been bouncing, but I could spend all the time in the world hesitating, procrastinating, trying to figure it out. Or we can take it one step at a time, take one nut off, and see what happens. See where we end up. Who knows? Maybe I find help along the way. But all in all, it's a good experience, you know. A lot of this is new, so literally maybe a month or two ago, I had an above ground pool in my entire garage, and I couldn't step foot in my garage, and then there was a 13-ton mound of sand right in front of the garage door. So I really couldn't walk back here, couldn't get to any of my tools, I couldn't organize anything, I couldn't even look at my Jeep or touch it or work on it. And that was the case in January. You know, come spring, I listed the pool, got it out of the way, and now we're finally here to a point where I can actually start working on my Jeep again. So I'm happy that I'm here, and I know that I'll get emotional when it's finished, but it's taken a while, you know. But all the things that I've gone through were necessary in order to get here. So I'm appreciative. It's the only way you can be, otherwise life's pretty much a drag. I did find things that I can work on, but I'm just kind of struggling and fighting. I feel like I'm a little scatterbrained and scrambling because I've got all of this visual stuff just laying around on the floor. But and then it's like, you know, taking inventory, like what do I need, what don't I need? Probably won't need this castle nut and these washers again because I'm putting single piece axles in, so I might actually turn these into a cool little fun craft project with the welder. I don't have any ideas for them right now. I don't want to get rid of them just yet because I want to make sure that I don't need them. But they are good metal. So I'll put those to the side. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's like, do I hold on to the camera? Do I not hold on to the camera? There's so much going through my mind, but it's just like, whatever. I think it's cool that you're kind of going through the experience with me, where it's like, you know, a lot of what you see is exactly the good parts of it, where everything's coming together and it's exciting. It's like, oh, here's the tool you need to use. You know, I'm stuck. We're stuck. One nut. The tool I need to use is probably out there. I went to AutoZone, I went to Napa, I went to a few different places. I didn't find the puller that I exactly needed. I was a little bit misled by the pictures you see online. I thought that something else would work for what I needed it to. I might have to make a tool. So that's just what happens. I mean, it's just going to be a process. So, but I can document. Struggle too, I don't mind. Hush! I don't mind one bit. I just I like to be active and have things to do, and so right now I'm a little bit wigging out because I feel like I should be productively getting at least something done in Wandering Peasant Garage episode 1, other than acquiring tools. That's okay, isn't it, Arlo? You want to make your debut on episode 1? Yeah. You too, Edgar? You want to come in and push your way in? Here you are. Here's my 2 pups. Wandering Peasant Garage. Well, thanks for watching, guys. For those who are interested in seeing what happens with this 1981 Jeep CJ7. I'll have some pictures of it, of what it was like before I took it apart here at the end of the video. I'll stitch it on. It's going to be a fun process. So, I think now, having gone through the first rodeo or gone down the slide for the first time, I know what I need to do in order to be organized for the next time. But, you know, also continue to document as I go, and then I'll put everything together. As needed. It's fun for me, you know. It's got to get done somehow, by myself, with company, however. Check this out, guys. Episode 1's not done yet. This is the old oil pan off of the inline 6, 4.2 liter. Ooh, it's crowded in there, boy. But what had happened, I don't know if you can see that gap on this side compared to that side. When I was pulling this engine out to begin with, kind of caught this lip down here and pulled it off. So down here, about right here, it started leaking oil. This might be one of the first TIG welding exercises I do where I fill this hole. Make sure this guy's good. I have to clean all this rust out. I don't know, what do you guys think? I try to sell it online? Probably not a good idea. I can't pressurize test it, but my welds are good. My welds are good. I think I can sell it. Or I can put it on the shelf in case I need it. Maybe put it in the back of the Jeep because I freaking hit it on a rock and I need it on a trail. Yeah, we'll clean it up. We'll clean it up. All right. I got 2 nuts off today, actually. One was hand tight. The other one required tools. Well, you know, progress. Could be worse. Could be worse. I just don't know, Arlo. I got some things I can mess with. Alright guys, episode 1, day 2. Got friends coming over today, possibly, so maybe we can get some more done with more hands. It's hard for me to move this stuff around now. I'm not 18 like I used to be. So I got some bed head going on. I'm gonna have to put bug spray on. I didn't take a shower. I stink. Doesn't matter. What's cool is my neighbor. He's got the puller that I need to get this hub off. So I'm gonna try to get it off before anybody shows up because the early bird gets the worm. So I'm gonna have more fish to fry once I figure out how to get this off. So it's kind of better to get it done now. You're gonna hear my dog Edgar in the background screaming at my neighbor to stop mowing. Edgar! Don't you see? Intruder! Not your yard, bud. You're a good boy. Alright. So yeah, look at, check that out. Kind of what I was looking for, nobody had it. Alright, I didn't have enough time to buy it online. So, couple threads on there for good faith. You don't want just 2 or 3 threads holding on to these things. Trust me. Tension would just shear those threads right off. Right. This one on there. And this one on there. Now, I'm going to take this. I want to have the area that's going to fall off. Okay, I'm going to take this guy. Screw him right in. Impact it is. Alright, gotta make sure it's lined up nice and straight. What we'll do is we'll trust the impact on it. Stop hitting the button. to go get math gas or some sort of heat source, because I can heat around the outside of this hub. You know, not this shaft in the center, and that would cause the hub itself to expand. And I guess you could take an ice cube and hit the threads down here and cool off the shaft going through the center. You know, the male piece. But we'll see. We'll give it a couple more cracks. Job. Get the hub off. Use your strong jaws, boy. What? Your kid's fine. I'm sensitive. Yeah. Is that what I'm smelling?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, yeah, what is that?
You're like, what?
I'm like looking at the gun, you know. It's got some pneumatic oil coming out of it.
Yeah, no, I got a fog machine right now.
Well, that's good.
The big breaker bar works wonders on that.
Yeah. Do you think you can get it to stop spinning too?
What size you need?
No, I just got with the diff off the vehicle. It's kind of hard to stop it from spinning.
Oh yeah, I can give you a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I think it's that breaker bar, 1/2 inch, right? For your socket.
My socket's not 1/2 inch. It's the size bigger.
I mean, like the chuck square is a 1/2 inch.
No. This socket is I can't remember what the next size
I
up.
got the socket. It's a 1/2 inch like drive, right?
No. It's the next size up.
Oh, it's a 3/4.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Nice. All right.
You can help me. I bet he doesn't like the fact I have an impact wrench on it, but everything I've broken in my life has been with my own strength. So I've snapped ratchets, I've snapped box end wrenches. Hey! Yeah. So when you turn it, everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's an open diff.
Yeah, gotcha.
So that you have to go on something has to stop the yoke itself.
You got another 1/2 inch.
Well, it's an open diff, so it doesn't matter if you put anything on that side. Right? Oh, you gotta stop this. Which has a screw broken off. So it's not like you can put a bar in there. That's why I have the impact on it, because that's the only thing that'll.
You're a big pipe wrench. Throw a pipe wrench forever.
I mean, the other thing is, like, I'm not using this at all. So I wonder if there's something I need to just shove in there. In the actual diff itself. I'm replacing all of this.
Oh, okay.
I've got a locker, air locker, and then a new ring and pinion. And all of the innards. So if we just get this to stop, maybe we just jam it.
Even just holding like a brick or something, some big piece of.
I'm just saying, I'll just put the show a crowbar in there. So.
Yeah.
Something else. I don't know what piece needs to stop.
Yeah, we don't want to mess up your seal, but.
Well, I've got all new seals and stuff. The whole thing is kind of getting rebuilt. I don't know where I got myself into, but whatever.
It's always something, right? That looks like it right there.
And then
Brace it. Okay, I see what's going on.
yeah, you see what I mean? Because it's an open diff. We gotta actually
You
stop
stop
the,
everything.
we gotta actually, yeah,
Stop this, stop that. Okay, yeah.
or somehow get something in, like a flathead screwdriver or something in the actual center.
Yeah, like one of those flat breaker spreader things. Or yeah, even just a big ass flathead.
That's what I'm thinking. An old one that's not. No?
There, which way do you need it to stop? Like you're gonna be.
I'm gonna go this
Oh, you're
way.
gonna go that way. So here, you always put the screwdriver in the teeth. Now I gotta make this stuff.
Oops.
Sometimes your earbuds poke you in the eye. Awesome.
I've got some new wireless ones, and every time I put my arm over my head, it hits the side of them, and it does some setting change.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But
It goes
at least-
beep,
You're like, okay.
something on. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks. And it's like something off. As I'm like working out at the gym, I'm like, these are supposed to be fitness headphones. Okay, that does
Okay,
it.
so that's better, but I'm on the wrong.
So hold on.
Leverage side, so I need to be on this side. to stop
Well,
it.
if you did that and I put some bricks under the front of the yoke so that it can't rotate forward.
Right here works, I think, pretty good. If we go this way.
And get all the stuff out of the way so that when it breaks free, I'm not breaking all the stuff on the ground.
I think I got it on the side that you need. Nope, we're good. No, you're pulling, or you're pushing it.
Yeah, I'm pushing down. I need to go
Oh, okay.
righty tighty. Yeah, this probably has a whole lot more force than the impact gun with that little air compressor.
Yeah.
Good? Yeah, so we're gonna rotate the whole act. Hold on, let me get some bricks. I need you for mine.
A little bit of weight of me will actually help a little.
Just need something to stop this guy.
Bricks are coming in handy.
So get, here. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's rotating. I know, it's like my shin's right in the way. Don't try this at home. Oh no, I rotated the wrong direction. Wants to go there. Okay. Good?
Yep.
No? Yeah, we need to get out of the way.
Yeah, I got the same wheel thingies. There we go.
Boom!
Boom, bitch.
Alright. Well, there we go. Awesome. That's the tool we needed. Yeah, it's just a Woodruff key or whatever in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's where it comes to that little guy.
Well, there's more. There's splines right up here. If you
Oh,
look from here, but-
That'd be hilarious trying to run like a Dodge Demon off of a little key. Please, little key, stay strong.
We're gonna make it. So now, yeah, eventually this is all gonna be one, you know?
Yeah, it's just a bar.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean,
So locker front, bar rear. Is what you're doing?
what?
Like a bar rear, locker front, or solid rear, bar front, or locker
So,
front. I mean,
so it'd be like, yeah, one piece axles and then have an air locker instead of the open diff. The differential would be a little lock, it'd be, you know, fully locked.
oh,
So
okay.
all tires,
Just
all tires get power.
Yeah.
Otherwise, right now I'm dog legging, like, you know, four-wheel situations. I'll have a situation where I'll get out and I'll manually lock the Dana 30 front, and then I'll have 3 tires spinning because one in the back will
Yeah.
get most of the power usually.
Like when you want less stuff to break.
Well, right. And so, I don't know. I wanted the option of being able to turn it on and off.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to like having a Detroit auto locker versus this and that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, well, I still have to get out and do the manuals in front, but at least it's one less thing to do, you know?
Oh, that's why I got 2 of them, because I like fucking mangled the hammer section up so bad. I like bought another one, and then eventually I just bought this stupid bar, and then the bar did it. I'm like, son of a, I didn't need to buy another one. I just needed to buy a breaker bar. But you know, live and learn. So I was like, I had like a sledgehammer like this big. It was like a 7 pound or some shit. I'm just like beat fucking piss out of it, and like that's the new hammer now. Like, and the other one, you know, it looked like I was like feeding it to the wood chipper. I'm like, yeah, that's what you do with these.
What size is it? Edgar's more chill. He just hasn't had much play activity because I'm gonna flip this thing. So,
Yeah.
if you were to just throw. All right, guys, welcome back to Wandering Peasant Garage. My neighbor came over and he was able to help me get these hubs off. So check that out. Last time you were watching us, so you got these pieces off with the puller. The hub came off. It's got a little Woodruff key or a key in there, you know, kind of lock it into the axle. But what we found when we went to the other side was this. I don't know if you could see that, but the key was sheared off. There you go. See that? Boom. It's like non-existent in there. Here's probably a better angle. Look at that, twisted. Sorry, it's heavy, guys. Anyway. So cool. Now, I gotta figure out how to get the axle inserts out. The second piece of those axles. But what is cool is I will show you this This is the new one-piece axle insert. That's what's going in there. Much sturdier. Allow us to run 35-inch tires. Now, we get to figure out how do we get these guys out. So, on to the next thing. Stay tuned for day 2, episode 1, Wandering Peasant Garage. So I figured I would do these in kind of weekend stints, you know, where it's like I work Friday, Saturday, maybe a little bit on Sunday, but Sunday mostly I would do some video editing, get everything together, post an episode, and hopefully have, you know, weekly episodes just to keep moving. We always got to keep moving. Not gonna lie, this morning I was struggling. I was a little stressed out and getting a little emotional because yesterday I only took off two nuts, and sometimes it gets to you like, wow, this is gonna take forever because there's 50 more nuts, bolts, whatever to go, hundreds. But you can't let that weigh on you, right? So today I got 2 hubs off. I found out my neighbor has some tools to help me, and my neighbor knows I have tools to help him, so, you know, we can barter with elbow grease, which is always awesome. So I'm gonna do some more research. We'll see how to get these axles out for good so that I can have the housing completely empty. I won't get right up to the point of taking the actual diff out of the housing and the pinion. So, yeah, I want the axles out of each side. I want the tubes completely clean, and then I'll focus on how do we get the diff out, what's the preload there, how do we figure out the preload, and then how do we figure out the preload for the pinion, the depth, etc. Because eventually, you know, I showed you the one-piece axles that we're going to put in there next. Or what else is going to happen is, you know, which I've mentioned probably a few times, is the ARB air locker. I also have an axle truss that I need to weld across the top, so that'll be a pretty interesting video. I like welding. It's fun for me to do as a pastime. I don't know if I could do it for a career, but I'll get to play with the TIG machine, weld an axle truss, so that'll be fun.